Hello everyone, John Lippiatt with Houston Portrait Network and Houston Photo Walks here. I want to spend just a few moments with you and talk about the latest Meetup.com changes. And before you ask, I am reading from a script. So anyway, a few weeks ago, Meetup.com made some pretty significant changes to the way their RSVP system works. They basically made it possible for anybody, any member, to organize and run a Meetup event, even if you're not an official organizer. Jonathan Knobloch took this idea to the nth level and basically created a Meetup group devoted specifically to member-created and member-managed events. So I want to take just a few minutes here and just walk through some examples, basically try to get our head around this concept and see how it can work for us. So for this example, let's use an idea that my wife has. First, she clicks on the Let's Meetup box. This brings up this screen where she can select a title, description, the date and time and location, and at the very bottom she can also say the details. Once all this is filled in, then she can push the Let's Meetup button. Okay, so now the idea has been submitted, but at this point she really can't do anything. She can't announce it as an event, and it's not even showing up on the calendar at this point. So you might be saying to yourself, but I thought anybody could create an event. Well, basically they can, but there's a little bit of organizer housekeeping that needs to happen. If you need to get back to your idea at any time, return back to the home page and then click In the Making. This will take you right back to the event page. At this point, Marty can make some minor changes. She can change the day, the time, the location, maybe a little bit of the details. But to really make sure her event is successful, Marty wants some more control. And that's where us organizers come in. When you submit your idea, all of us organizers will receive an email with some basic info. So we might email you back asking for some more information. For example, there might be a date or time missing and we need you to add that. But otherwise, one of us will switch you from just a regular user to an official organizer that hosts that event. So now when Marty goes back to her event idea, she has full control of that event listing on Meetup.com. She can click on Tools to display a large number of other options that are usually only available to organizers. Basically, she has the same rights, privileges, and responsibilities as a full-fledged group organizer. She can have her cake and eat it too. This is how most Houston Portrait Network events are going to be handled. It's your idea, you're in control. Okay, so let's take a look around. First, we're going to click Edit, and among all the things that you can change, about halfway down is a box for additional details. You can use different color, fonts, bolding, underline. You can even add hyperlinks if you want to. Be sure and set this setting so that only you can change the Meetup details and not the entire group. There are certain details that other people will be able to change otherwise. There are some settings that you're not going to want to change. For example, if you change anything in the charge for this Meetup settings, any PayPal fees that are collected are going to go to the group organizer and not you. This is really important because if you need to charge or split the costs for any supplies or rentals for your event, you need to arrange that directly with the people who are going to be attending rather than trying to use the Meetup.com system. Now, event hosts are going to have full control over how their RSVPs are going to operate. So the first thing you need to do is make sure and set the limit size to 10 participants or less. Our group only has 4 rules and small group size is one of them. We're still going to do large group events, but for various reasons, those are going to be handled by your group organizers. RSVPs with additional people are going to count against your total limit. Sometimes it's okay for people to bring a friend, and it doesn't need to really count against your RSVP total. A good example would be if someone under 18 is attending, they need to bring a parent, but it doesn't need to count against your RSVP total. And finally, you can specify when people can start RSVPing for your project. Since people tend to forget if they RSVP for something more than a week or 2 in advance, this is a really helpful setting to control. Also, you can control the RSVP deadline. Sometimes you need to ask people a question when they RSVP. You can type in that question here. Let's save these settings, and now Marty's event is ready to announce. The Announce button is at the very top of the Meetup event screen. Let's now briefly talk about managing RSVPs. Sometimes hosts will need to manually add or remove people from the RSVP list. As an example, if your event is full, but you still want to add a makeup artist, you can add that person to your list manually. Click on Tools and select Edit Who's Going. Meetup.com will show you this box, and as you type on the line, matching member names will start to appear. When you find the person you're looking for, just click on the Going or Not Going button. Meetup.com will automatically send them an email letting them know that their RSVP has changed. Oh, One more thing about the Tools menu. Remember when we added questions to the RSVP? Click See Answers on the Tool menu. Well, that about wraps it up. With this new event management system, all members of the group can control events rather than just relying on a small group of people. So think about your event idea, come up with a date, a time, a place, and submit your event. Thanks for your time.